As we all know, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, starting from the 1st of April 2025, he is expecting to visit the Mount Kenya region for the first time. Now, we are receiving intelligence in regards to a certain meeting that the President conducted between him and the Mount Kenya region members of parliament together with governors at the Statehouse, Nairobi recently, which was a meeting between the president and the members of parliament to mobilize the coming of the president around the Mount Kenya region so that the president would receive a warm welcome from the people around the Mount Kenya region. And to our surprise, the members of parliament were expected to sing along to President William Ruto and welcome him in the Mount Kenya region at this crucial time. Things seems not to be the way we thought they would be. This is because the members of parliament had a different opinion to tell President William Ruto in regards to the grounds and how hostile the crowd around the Mount Kenya is for the president ahead of his tour in the region. Now, William Ruto's State House meeting with Mount Kenya MPs. Number one, the president thanked the leaders for standing with him to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. That was the first thing that the president did when he summoned them at the State House. Especially, he praised Kimani Ichung'wah for leading the effort and called him a nationalist and urged every member from the Mount Kenya region who was in the meeting to follow the suit of Kimani Ichung'wah and embrace the nationalist ideology of standing with the agendas of uniting the country. Number two, President William Ruto informed the MPs on his plan to visit the Mount Kenya region for 7 days, stating that, or starting on 31st March 2025. He told them that he needed them to prepare the ground for him and to make sure that he is not heckled, remembering that the president was treated to the first humiliation in the Mount Kenya region in November last year when he attended a consecration ceremony of a Embu bishop in Embu County, where the president was heckled, and that was his first visit after the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua. Now, the MPs were instant and said that the crowd is still very hostile towards the president and the Kenya Kwanza regime. What they asked the president to do is to reschedule his meeting for another a couple of months before. To push forward his tour in the Mount Kenya region for another couple of months. But to their surprise, the president told them this: if this happens, then he will be regarded as a coward and that he will be regarded as a man that is in fear of Rigathi Gachagua. And for him currently, he cannot take what has been happening around the Mount Kenya region normal because that will treat him abnormally, as we always say. He knows that Rigathi Gachagua has been tainting his name and Rigathi Gachagua has been spreading another agenda around the Mount Kenya region on how the president has not been a nationalist and how he has not been delivering to the promises he made to the people of the region. Now, William Ruto told them this. It has already been 6 months since he came to the region, and it now looks like he is afraid of Gachagua, which he cannot afford to look. He insisted that he must go to the Mount Kenya region. Now, the MPs then asked that he limit his interactions to hosting delegations in Sagana State Launch, because he is expected to be in Sagana State Launch for a few days planning for the said event before the tour officially begins. Now, the meeting that he is expected to hold at Sagana State Launch is set to lay grounds on how the president will be received in the Mount Kenya region. He said that he must meet people on the ground. He must interact with people. Remember, the president is one man that was used to being praised around the Mount Kenya region. He did not really agree with the ideology of the members of parliament telling him that, Bwana President, currently we are not going to, the crowd is still hostile. And so what you can do is that you must limit your interaction. Don't go to the crowd. What you can do is to call the delegations from the people around the Mount Kenya region in certain secluded areas. Are we together? But he definitely turned that down. So he said that he will meet the people on the ground. Now, the members of parliament ultimately agreed to do both tent delegations and crowd meetings in select areas where MPs feel that they are able to mobilize effectively. But MPs insisted they must get well funded to facilitate the meetings between the president and the people. Ruto agreed. Now, Ruto, therefore, is going to host delegations per county, with everyone attending the said meetings will receive an amount of 5,000 each. The MPs, every MP will get a total of 500,000 per week for the next two weeks. So meaning each MP who mobilizes people for President William Ruto and other MPs around the Mount Kenya region will receive an amount of 1 million Kenyan shillings for the next 2 weeks that the president will be in the Mount Kenya region to prepare the crowd. Any MPs brave enough to organize crowd meetings will get 2 million per stop and ensure he has a crowd of at least 2,000 people. Funds to come from Kithure Kindeki's office and the PS of Interior, that is Bwana Raymond Omolo. Now, William Ruto also gave them a strategy to use to mobilize the crowd meetings, which he explained and worked very well during his Nairobi tour. He advised the MPs to pool resources and hire people on borders, pay each border 5,000 Kenyan shillings to carry 3 people and travel with them and the MPs per stop. This way allows that borders to two can do 3 stops, and that will be 5 million, and the MPs will still be left with 1 million Kenyan shillings. Now, William Ruto reminded them that politics is about perception. He told them that his tour of the Mount Kenya was like his tour of Nairobi. It was about optics. He told them Nairobi looked good because the rest of the country saw pictures of him meeting large crowds there. He also needs to be seen meeting large crowds in the Mount Kenya region. Now, William Ruto warned the members of parliament not to ask him for any projects. He said he has no new projects for the region and they should ensure they do not ask him for any, as they will be setting him up with the public. When you look at this, you will all agree with me that the president is really eager to come to the Mount Kenya region and is really desperate to receive a concrete crowd welcoming him in the Mount Kenya region. But will he be able to mobilize? Will he be able really to be received as he wants? He is set to use over 500 million Kenyan shillings for his tour in the Mount Kenya region, just for mobilizing. That tells you how desperate the president is. So the question that we ask, are people going to accept this money? And if they accept, are they going to cheer him up or to heckle him? That is the question that remains. But one thing for sure, the president is so eager and so desperate to receive praises and welcomings from the Mount Kenya region. What do you think will happen in these meetings and in the president's tour around the Mount Kenya region? Achia maoni yako kwenye comment section. Kumbuka kusubscribe. Hii ni Mugambo TV. Nasemanga hii ni sauti ya Mkenya. Mimi jina langu ni F. K Mwenda. See you in our next video.